What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of No Reserves Radio. I am Angelo, and before I introduce Alex, I'd just like to say Ren did a boo boo. So, Alex, we actually didn't end up recording the basketball episode this week because Ren apparently got lost at work and forgot. And by the time we was available to record, I told him, I got a football pod to prepare for, buddy. He's like, fair enough. So, we're actually carrying this week. So let's go!
As always, how's it going, guys? Another week of football almost in the books. We are just missing Monday Night Football. Fair warning, I'm sorry for anything. I'm a bit sick today, so any coughing and so on and so forth, just be advised.
So Alex, what game do you want to start off with? You want to start off with the Patriots and the Colts? That was a terrible game.
I think we need to start with that one.
It was such
Technically
a
not.
terrible game.
That is technically not the first, and the first game of the week was pretty bad as well. The Panthers and the Bears. But I
That
don't
game
think
didn't
there's.
happen, dude. They were both terrible. Ay.
There's been a rough couple of games. Not even couple, but a few games, actually.
The
A rough
the games
few
that
games.
happened this week were either like so terrible or so amazing that we might actually cover every game because I feel like there's something to talk about in almost every game. But we'll
Yeah.
see.
Some for the bad, some for the good, I guess. Some for
Yeah.
the unbelievable
Yeah.
in some cases. But I guess, yeah, we can start with Munich, Frankfurt, I guess. So you guys, the Americans, should really apologize to the German for sending them this game. Like, what have they ever
Uh,
done to you?
World War II.
I guess. Yeah, that's fair. That's good payback. They gave you World War II. You give them Colts Patriots a 16-point game with. Was there even a touchdown? I think there
I
was
know.
a touchdown.
It was
Yeah, there
so
was.
bad, dude. Like
Yeah.
I was at work at the time because it's happened at 9 o'clock in the morning for us, and he had it on the phone, and I'm just like, this is such a bad game. That's your why like we prioritized work over watching that game. That's how bad the game was.
Yeah, it was just terrible. And like, there's games who aren't really that good, but they have a redeeming factor.
Why did
I
why did Bailey
can't.
Zappi go in at the end?
Like my take on it, and I guess this will piggyback on another topics we'll talk about later. But I think it was just Bill being desperate. I think Bill knew that was probably his last game if he didn't win it, and he was just desperate. He saw it was an horrible pick by Mac Jones. He saw that, and he just had to try something. But like, it's one thing if you give like a chance to, I don't know, an unproven rookie or like a capable backup, something like that. That maybe you have a chance there. Maybe there's something there that you need to explore that gives you a hint of hope. But instead, they put in Bailey Zappi, who they cut during the off season, so they have no faith in the dude. They cut him in the offseason. He has been inactive in a few games, even. They have favored guys like Will Greer and Malik Cunningham over him. But they
So
put in
bad.
Bailey Zappi, who does,
It's so bad.
like, the thing is, he's not even a different QB than Mac Jones. He's like the Walmart version of Mac Jones. He's the worst version of Mac Jones. And they put him in, and he goes 3 for 7, 25 yards, and he throws a pick to end the game. And, like, I don't know, man. That just reeked of a desperate coach.
I so I was actually reading reports after the game because of course I was that a Robert Kraft probably isn't going to fire Bill Belichick during the season because he finds that's not a very stable move to make, which I understand, but B, and this is the more interesting part, is that he would want compensation if because this is why I don't think Bill's going anywhere. He would want compensation if another organization wanted Bill.
I mean, who do you
So
fire then? Or who do you move out of?
So who do you hire? I'm guessing you hire
N-
someone you also plan on giving,
No, no, no. I'm
whatever.
saying, who do you fire? Because you have to do something after this game. You can't just let this
Who do
roll.
you fire?
You literally either have to fire someone or you put all of this on Mac Jones, and I don't think Mac Jones deserved that. I think
Doesn't deserve
he,
it, but he's probably going to get it.
yeah, but like you can't tell me going to Bailey Zappi is the better option. Like we have
No,
seen these two guys play, and it's like Bailey's Matt Jones can do everything Bailey Zappi can, probably a little bit better. Bailey Zappi cannot do like everything that Mac Jones can. So you're kind of just going and you're stuck on this loop. And Bill seems to be stuck on it. Like whenever he has some sort of difficulty, he just goes to Bailey's happy, and it never works. And like, I don't know. I read a few reports as well prior to the game. I haven't read many after the game that heavily hinted that it was make or break for Bill this week. I've read a few, as you said, that like changing coaches, and I generally agree. Like changing coaches mid-season, it doesn't generally do anything for the team, and it would be the service to Bill Belichick. But I think
there's
he's a goner. Either mid-season or end of the season, he's a goner.
that's fair. I mean, there are certain and you could argue that what has happened with the Patriots is an extreme example of a coach that needs fired, but at the same time, I don't think the defense has played bad. The offense is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, but the offense is atrocious because they don't have the skill position players, and he is the one who drafts the skill position players. So you're kind of like
Well, you're not wrong.
he's the one to blame. Like I guess I agree. The offense last year was in part, and I defended that the offense was terrible last year because of who they had at the offensive coordinator. Doesn't really give Bill a whole lot of excuses because he hired those guys, and it feels like there's a lot of nepotism in that team in terms of like the coaches and so on. It's just the same recycled coaches,
So
and it's
you're not wrong
like,
about that. So
yeah.
you don't think they're gonna try to bring back McDaniels and maybe see if that helps the offense any? Because Mac Jones didn't look terrible under McDaniels.
Yes, you can put it on Bill O'Brien, but it's like I don't know. Is how many excuses will Bill have? When is it time to just say it's Bill?
Limitless.
Okay, so then yeah, then just fire. I think something has to break. It's either I don't think it's anything on the defense because they allowed 10 points. They allowed like
Right.
194 yards and they had a turnover as well.
Mm.
So I don't think it's anything defense related, but on offense, it's either Bill O'Brien, it's
It's
Max Jones.
it's someone. I think eventually. I think the Patriots are as bad of a watch as the Titans are at this point.
Yeah, probably a worse watch.
You might be right about that.
Yeah. So it turns out that the Patriot way, and I saw a tweet about this, the Patriot way was always just Tom Brady playing exceptional. That's just the
I
Patriot
don't
way.
know
There's
about always playing exceptional because you see the hints and the signs of the defense being good. So I think it's more the Patriot way is the defense playing good and having a great quarterback. That's
that can just surpass Bill's insistence on making every single undrafted or seventh round pick wide
wide
receiver
receiver.
a
Yeah, yeah,
star.
exactly.
Okay. Ah, that was just, I mean, we spent way too much time talking about a 16-point game, so I think we can just move along and just, you probably got this game, no? The Browns and the Ravens.
I
That was,
stopped watching actually because I thought it got so bad. I don't know how the Browns won this game. Deshaun Watson started beyond terrible. Beyond
yeah,
terrible.
I agree. And I think it was just a Ravens game from early in the season where they would get on to those massive leads to start, and then they would just try and lose the game. And this one they actually did. They lost
And
it.
this one they actually did. They succeeded in trying to lose the game.
Yeah. Congrats, buddy. You just lost the game. I mean, I don't know. Like when you have a guy like Mitchell, who's actually like surprising as an undrafted
Been
free
really
agent.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and they gave him like I think it was one second half touch. The guy's averaging like I
So
think he's
explain
averaging
it to me because I stopped watching after the score was something along the lines of like 27 to like 3. It was something bad. It was something along those lines. So what happened? How the heck did the Browns offense get to 33 points?
turnovers.
Turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar had two picks. Like they just went on that mode where you try to play conservative and you try to play not to lose, like the Eagles the last week, and they sort of just overplay their hand, and it was just, I mean, it is like when a team just turns the intensity down to like, I don't know, a five because they are that much ahead in the game. But then the other team starts to make plays and starts to gain traction. And it's tough after that. After you have just completely turned down the intensity of the game to turn it back on, it's very difficult.
It's
And I think
impossible.
and I think that's sort of what happened here. Like they just played conservative. They just thought they had this in the bag and the Browns didn't quit. Deshaun Watson played somewhat good in that second half, mostly fourth quarter,
Hmm.
and they just managed to get it going, and they win somehow. I was just as surprised as you because I
I
just had
literally
this.
turned it off at halftime, dude. Like it was
Wow.
bad. It was bad, bad.
Yeah, I think they were down like 31 to 19 at some
Yeah,
point in the third
something
quarter.
ridiculous like that.
Yeah, and then they just Elijah Moore gets it going, gives them a touchdown, I believe, if not mistaken. And then yeah, Lamar tipped pass to Greg Newsome, and that's a pick six. So then it's 31-30 because the kicker makes the PAT. And yeah, the kicker then makes a 40-yard field goal and wins
To
it.
win the game. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, easy. Sure. Easy.
Does this impact how you feel? Because we both had the Ravens third last week in our power rankings. Does this impact your view of the Ravens, or do you just chug it to a divisional matchup who is just things happen?
I put the Ravens ahead with the intention of lowering them back down. I knew there was no way they were getting through Cincinnati, but I didn't think Cleveland would be the team to take them out. But hey, you know,
I tied for first. The Bengals are
I
last in the division
I know it's kind of sad.
at 5-4.
At the AFC North is ridiculous, dude.
We call it. Despite the Steelers being like, and I guess
I
we
don't know how they're winning games. I don't know how they're winning games.
do you know that I'm not sure if it's a meme or GIF or whatever, but there's like a Mario game in which they're like on top of a snowball, and then it's like it's a video game that you play, and like you just have to push the other snowballs out of the track, and you win.
Mhm. Yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
No, I have not. But that's
Okay, there's like a GIF in which it's like they are playing that game, but then one of the players doesn't move, and the other ones all just randomly fall. And that's how I've seen the Steelers games being described. It's like
how did
they
Steelers
do
win the
nothing
game?
and they just win.
They played the Packers. I don't even know how they won that game.
I
I
think
don't.
I've seen a crazy stat that since like last year, if not mistaken, whenever they score on three separate drives, they win the game.
They didn't score on 3 separate drives.
Didn't
At least
they
not a
this week?
touchdown, unless you're counting
Oh,
field
no,
goals.
no, no. It's not touchdown. It's just scoring.
Oh, okay.
If they
Okay,
score on three separate drives, they win the game.
okay, sure.
They have a plus 21 or plus 22 turnover differential.
Yeah, their defense. That you could just say that about you. You go through the top 10 defenses, and every AFC North team is there at some point. Basically,
Yeah, but they just don't turn the ball over.
they don't turn
That's
the
just
ball
it.
over, and they generate turnovers.
That's perfect.
They also don't.
What?
Well, I can't say that, but Kenny Pickett also doesn't score touchdowns, as
Doesn't
C.J.
matter.
Stroud has demonstrated.
You don't really need to score touchdowns or have like over 150 yards, apparently. You just need not to turn the ball over.
You remember when people were saying that this offense was going to be a sneaky top 10 offense?
Yeah, we might have implied that as well.
Yeah, we probably did. But like it's just so bad. Like they have all the tools. It's just I don't know, it's just they don't need to do it so they don't do it.
They are just, it's tough to watch a game of them, to be honest. But in the end, I mean, they just win. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. It's just like, they win. When all is
Yeah.
said and done, they just, you don't know how they win those games. And it's hard to watch their games, so you'll probably never know how they win those games. But they do. And like, they make turnovers when it mattered the most. Like this week, they just
Jordan Love, 2 interceptions.
yes, interception late when Jordan Love was trying to make a comeback
Yep.
in the fourth quarter, down 23-19, and they just make an interception to seal the game.
That's
They
all.
are an opportunistic defense, and they are, I believe, they are third right now in the NFC North, and they are 6-3, if not mistaken.
Yeah. They have to
Ahead,
finish the season fourth. They have to. There's no way.
uh, ahead of your own Cincinnati Bengals. What happened, Angelo?
CJ Stroud apparently happened.
Is CJ Stroud an MVP candidate?
No, but he's definitely got rookie of the year locked up.
He's second in passing yards in the league.
Is he really?
Yeah. You know who's first? Do you want to guess?
Um, Patrick Mahomes,
No. He missed the game. It's someone who didn't have their bye yet.
Derek Carr.
Good one, buddy. It's Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
Yes. Sam Howell. He leads the leagues in yards by like 100 and something.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah. And he is like top five in the league in passing touchdowns.
Sam. So are Sam Howell and CJ Stroud legit?
Apparently, I I don't watch the whole like Washington games. I watch part of them and I watch back some of them as well. But everything I hear from the Commanders fans is that he's legit. Like he's not making those. And I watched him last night versus the Seahawks. He's legit. He doesn't make the turnovers. He still makes a few errant throws that they are not super advised. They're ill advised, to be frank. But I mean, still, you got them there. And what did I say about the Commanders prior to the season starting? I said, I think the offense will be pretty good. The defense will let them down. And that's exactly what happened just yesterday. Sam Howell makes it a tight game with like I think it's a minute and change on the clock or 2 minutes or so on the clock. Makes it a tie game. Touchdown to De'Ami Brown and he's looking good. I mean, he threw for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns versus a defense who has been playing better as of late. And then in the end, like the defense can't stop us, basically. Like two slant routes to DK Metcalf was just too much for them.
Is Brian Robinson the better B Robinson at running back?
Probably. No,
Just
Vision is still better.
is he? I'm not
But I
convinced.
I think didn't like Brian Robinson lead the like every single running back in receiving yards this week? Or am I mistaken in that? I think I'm
He
pretty
might
right
have,
on that one.
but
Because I know he had like a 60 something yard touchdown to break up the game, just like at the start. Let me see real
it was a
quick.
reception. It was a 60-yard reception.
Yeah, and then he had another big one after like 20 something.
The Atlanta
So,
Falcons offense is just tragic, dude. By the way, if you Google, at least this is for me. If you Google the um Atlanta Falcons game, Falcons versus Cardinals, and you go to the stats, it says the passing leader was someone named T. Hollick. That's right. Google doesn't even know who the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons is. That's why when I was in the chat, I was like, who's quarterbacking the Falcons right now? Because I did the Google scores and it said T. Hollick was the quarterback for the Falcons right now.
I'm not getting it.
Oh,
I
it
don't
says
have.
Taylor Heineke?
No, I'm not getting like the scores. It's not showing here. Is it just Falcons
Ah,
Cardinals scores? Score, I guess.
yeah, just on Google. Yes, the Falcons
Yeah,
Cardinals score.
it doesn't pop anything up immediately, just websites. Maybe it's
Mhm.
something in the US. But yeah,
Maybe.
they changed QB like Heineke hurt his hamstring, if not mistaken, and Ritter had to come back. And he led a go-ahead drive late in the fourth, if not mistaken. Then
How
Kyler
do
got
you
it back. How do I have
how do
what?
you how do you have Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London,
And the guy who
and
scores
you
the
only
go-ahead.
mustered like 75 yards of passing offense?
And the guy who scores
Drake
the goal.
London and Kyle Pitts were the receiving leaders for the Falcons, and they both had like 30.
And yeah, and Desmond Ritter scores the go-ahead touchdown. None of those dudes, just Desmond Ritter rushes the ball for like, I don't know, 8 yards or something.
It's just it's so painful. It's like, have they fired Arthur Smith yet? Are
No,
they going to get a quarterback?
he's still in there. They are four
Okay.
and six to be honest. Like, how
They
far
just lost to the
ahead?
Cardinals
Yes, with Kyler. Kyler is back.
with Kyler.
He didn't look too bad to be honest.
Trey McBride had a great game.
Yeah. To be frank, like we always say this about Arthur Smith, they're like one game ahead, one game behind in the division race. So it's like,
That's because as good as the AFC North is, the NFC South is that more tragic. Is just as tragic
yeah,
as the AFC North is good.
the NFC North currently has a sub 500, over 500 team, missing the playoffs, like last in the division and missing the playoffs. Currently, the NFC South has a 500 team in the playoffs, leading the division.
It's the Saints in it. Yes, the Saints.
Yeah, Saints are a game above.
Hmm.
They haven't had their bye yet, which I think it's like either this week or next week. It's something like that. But the Falcons have their bye this week. So if anything should happen regarding the coaching and so on and so forth, it should be this week.
Honestly, looking at the standings this year compared to last year around this time, it's kind of similar. Not gonna lie, there's a few surprises and changes, but like the Patriots are tragic. The Bills have been underperforming, but the Chiefs lead the division. The Ravens lead the division. Huh? The AFC North is the outlier. The Jaguars lead their division. The Eagles lead with the Cowboys. The Eagles lead at 8-1 with the Cowboys at 6-3. I could have swore that this exact scenario happened last year at this exact time. The 49ers and Seahawks are fighting for the NFC. The Vikings have a positive record, but now this year the Lions are performing, and the NFC South is just atrocious.
Yeah.
Like the NFC is just copy and pasted from last year.
Yeah,
Like
basically.
legitimately.
And are the Texans? Oh, okay, I didn't know this, but Texans are currently in the playoffs. If the season ended today.
They deserve it. I wouldn't want them.
Yeah, the Bengals are not.
We'll be fine.
I don't know. What if you
We'll be
lose to the
fine.
Ravens this week?
It's the Ravens. Joe
Yeah.
Burrow's due. We lost to them once already. Joe Burrow's due. I'm telling you. Like
Okay.
we're about to light them up.
Okay,
That's assuming Jamar Chase and T. Higgins actually play.
Chase should play. I mean, he played fairly well.
He's played pretty well, yeah, for having a bad back.
Yeah,
He was talking like a guy who wasn't playing on playing. I actually ended up benching him in one fantasy league, and I regretted that. But
yeah,
things
I
happen.
just couldn't do it. It's like too much.
It was hard because he was literally talking like a guy who just his season just ended.
Yeah,
Like-
but like if his season ended, mine would probably end as well. So I'm like, I'm fine going down with the ship. I'm the band on the Titanic. I just stay there with the violin. Okay, so we were talking about this prior, but is CJ Stroud an MVP candidate? Because I have to bend the knee here because
You have to bend the knee. You were wrong. You were so wrong about CJ Stroud.
I was wrong. And it's one thing when he's like start of the season, okay, I pushed back somewhat. Like there were some things in there that I didn't like. There were some things in there that he did good, better than he did in college.
Okay, so let's talk about a few things because obviously CJ Stroud played the Bengals this week. First off, the guy had an interception, but I'm still going to say this. The guy basically doesn't make mistakes. Like it's stupid how like good he is at such like he's a rookie. He's a rookie. And he was doing things that like Joe Burrow would I was just like whatever. Singletary had an amazing game. What is up with Noah Brown? How can CJ Stroud make Noah Brown look like the best wide receiver in football?
I don't know, man. CJ Stroud is making the group of wide receivers: Noah Brown, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, John Matchey, and Robert Woods, who I thought was sure gonna retire, look like an actual NFL team.
I know.
And I am just shocked because like if there was one thing that I was pretty adamant on was that I did not see how this team have improved so much to the point in which their win total was like 6.5 or something, and I was wrong.
I will say this because I have been adamant with wide receivers matter, especially when developing a young quarterback. CJ Stroud just throws all that out the window. He's like I guess when you're so good that Noah Brown's a top wide receiver, then yeah, I guess wide receivers don't matter if you're as good as CJ Stroud is at football. I don't know.
Can you imagine just going from Marvin Harrison Jr. to Noah Brown and just not missing a beat, actually looking better, throwing to Noah Brown?
Like if he keeps this up, and he probably will because I see a lot of great, like when I saw that game, I saw a lot of great things that I saw out of Burrow. We're going to be talking about CJ Stroud or Mahomes at some point. It's probably not going to be this year, but it's like right around the corner, dude.
He's tied for 10.
Like,
He's for 10th in the MVP race.
Like let's say what if they draft Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Oh, they can't. They don't have the first.
They can trade up.
They can't. They don't have a first, period.
Oh, okay.
They traded it in the Will Anderson deal.
Okay.
So, yeah. And, like, Is he gonna be the? I think the Texans prior to him arriving there in the last like 2 or 3 seasons, they were 11 and something, 11-30 or something like that, 38, and they haven't made the playoffs in what now? 3 years?
CJ Stroud has played 9 games and he looks like the best quarterback in Texans history.
Yeah, I think that's accurate to be honest, and I think is he probably just gonna drag the Texans to the playoffs?
There's no way. There's no way. Maybe.
Let's look at their remaining schedule.
There's no way because of AFC North. That's the only thing.
I mean, they are ahead of one team in the NFC North.
AFC North, but yeah.
AFC North, yeah. Okay, so the Texans' remaining schedule. They have week 11, the Arizona Cardinals. Week 12, the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is all in Houston, by the way. They have 3 home games in a stretch. They have the Broncos. Then they go at New York Jets, at Tennessee Titans. Then they get the Cleveland Browns, and they get the Tennessee Titans again.
Oh,
It's
they might
like,
make the playoffs.
can they win like 5 of these games?
Maybe. like, oh,
Like, the Titans look like a mess again. The Jags look like a mess.
well, we can talk about the Jags because I was so right on that.
Yeah, I mean, I was right since the beginning on the Jags. They just don't look, they don't look good. They look inept on offense. They got steamrolled.
They got sacrificed.
Yeah, out of a bye as well, if not mistaken.
Yep, out of a bye.
Both teams out of a bye. And they just weren't prepared. They got destroyed.
They got just. They really did. There was no magic. There was no, oh, we didn't play ideal, but we know they just got destroyed.
There was nothing
If I'm
there.
not
They just,
mistaken, the one thing they did accomplish though is they ended Christian McCaffrey's
yes,
touchdown streak. That
yes.
you lost 34-3, but at least you ended that. You good
That
job.
that was so fun at the end when like everyone knew who the ball was going to in in those last 3 plays of the game or 4 games of the play of the San Francisco 49ers drive. Everyone knew the ball was going to CMC, and like CMC just couldn't get in, unfortunately. Would have been nice to see at least like roll over Jags. Like, you did nothing.
At
At least
least
allow history to happen. Just like those Jaguars are just terrible, man. Like, at least allow things to be fun. They're not fun. They should have allowed the touchdown.
So, I have a question for you because I've seen post the Ravens Browns, the Browns beating the Ravens. I've seen a lot of hype for are the Browns Super Bowl contenders. Obviously, we have our top 10, and you like to say, well, my Super Bowl contenders are up to here. Are the Browns Super Bowl contenders to you? Because I have a very, very, I wouldn't call it a hot take, but I have a very stern take on this.
I think to win the Super Bowl, you need the offense to play well. And like, I guess if they can score 30 points with the QB throwing for sub 250 yards, then I guess it's possible. Like, everything is possible. But do I consider them Super Bowl contenders? No. I think they are a team you probably don't want to see in the playoffs, but I don't think they would do well in the Super Bowl. Although we have seen teams with great defenses and not great offenses, terrible offenses indeed, winning the Super Bowl. I remember like the Broncos versus the Panthers. That was the ultimate offense versus the ultimate defense. The defense won. And the Super Bowl that the Seahawks won versus the Broncos, like the offense was okay in that one. It wasn't terrible, but it was still the ultimate offense versus the ultimate defense. The ultimate defense won. So is it possible? Yes. Do I consider them my Super Bowl dark horse? Not really.
See, I don't think they're going to get there, and I mean, I guess if they got there, anything's possible, especially with that defense. But I don't think the quarterback play is good enough. Like you use two examples that happened 10 plus years ago now at this point, dude. Like Patrick
The
Mahomes has
Broncos was eight.
basically, huh?
The
The
Broncos was eight, I think.
the AFC has been dominated by elite quarterback play, whether that's Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, or Josh Allen for the last 3-4 years. I don't think the Browns have a good enough quarterback because outside of Josh Allen, Burrow and Mahomes, those guys in playoff games, they don't make that many mistakes. You're not going to get as many opportunities to score as you do like right now in the regular season. I'm telling you that right now.
Think
So
yeah, that's why I don't have them as my dark horse Super Bowl favorite because I do think the offense matters now. But I think they have a puncher's chance.
now I think there's some interesting matchups they could win a first round. Like I think the Browns surprisingly match up well against the Miami Dolphins. I think that would
That's
be a good matchup for them. I think they could win a matchup like that.
and something else is like there's no one really in the NFC that looks great right
Yeah,
now. So if they do get to the Super Bowl, then I
they
give
got
them a good chance.
they got more than a puncher's chance. Yeah, and like I give them a
Yes.
puncher's chance against the Bills. Granted, the Bills I
Yes.
don't think are in the playoffs right now, but like they could generate turnovers on Josh Allen's and compound that. But against Joe Burrow, against even though they have been like the Browns have been Joe Burrow's kryptonite in the regular season,
Yes.
but I gotta see it in the playoffs. I gotta see it in the playoffs, dude. Like Joe
Yeah, that's
Burrow and the defense in the playoffs is just a completely different animal altogether.
that's
But
what I was gonna say.
but I think it's matchups. I think Deshaun would have to revert back to some old Deshaun, like Houston Deshaun with the Browns. I would favor them to win the Super Bowl. But this current version that we have of Deshaun right now, no, it's not it. It's better than what they have outside of Deshaun because what they have outside of Deshaun is catastrophic, but and tragic. But it's not. Deshaun isn't so much better than the rest of the quarterback room that I think that they should be favored. That's just my take.
Yeah, I agree. If they get to the Super Bowl, then I think I give them a better
Oh yeah,
chance. I
I
think it's
their defense
honestly
could
like
easily flood any NFC offense. I think outside of maybe the
yes,
Eagles, maybe the
even the
Eagles.
Eagles, because you know how I feel about the Eagles
Yeah,
offense.
that's true.
So even the Eagles to me right now. But again, I need to see more from the offense. The offense is like when there's not really that big of a difference between PJ Walker and Deshaun Watson, and one guy is making 250 million, you sort of
There's a
have to
problem
show
there.
me something there,
Yeah.
yeah.
So their defense is elite. Their defense is the best defense in the NFL right now. I think.
Yeah, I think uh that's fair. Them or the Steelers. I think the Steelers have a pretty because the Steelers force a lot of turnovers as well.
That's true.
And I think I haven't checked who has made more turnovers, but like just
Think
eye
about
test, I
this.
would say
Think
it's the
just think just
Steelers.
think about this for a second. The Bengals, I said last week the Bengals have a top 10 defense, and I think that's arguable. I think that's a very solid arguable case. The Bengals probably have the worst defense in the AFC North right now. Like that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I do stand corrected. The Browns have more turnovers than anyone in the league. They have 19. Although I'm not sure if this is defensive turnovers. What NFL defense? Oh yeah, I get because it says that the Bears have 18 turnovers, and I cannot for the life of me remember those 18 turnovers.
So they gave them right
So
back.
probably, but I don't think the Bears defense is that good. So something is up there.
Man. Do you want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys taking all their frustrations in that Eagles game out on the Giants?
I think you need to talk about your guy because your guy
My guy.
looks great. Yeah, your guy looks great. I think he must have forgot to put mayo in his coffee
Oh, not
because
Will
he
Levis.
looks terrible, dude. This is the Will Levis that I saw in college. Four
There
sacks,
he is.
one pick, just should have had like at least two or three more picks. One of them hit the defender, I think it was Levante David, straight in the end and he dropped it. The other one, I mean, he has to thank DeAndre Hopkins. Like that was a great heads up play by DeAndre Hopkins. Like the ball went for Hopkins. Obviously, Hopkins wasn't there, so the defender, it was 30 something, so a DB for the Bucks was getting that ball as he was going down with it. He had the ball completely held. He was gonna make the pick, and he was as he was going down, Hopkins just managed to go there last second and punch it out. Great awareness play by Hopkins. Still, Will Levis should have
Veteran.
had at least three picks this game, at
Yeah,
least.
Will Levis didn't look too hot.
Yeah. Baker didn't either, but Baker at least
I
looked a bit better.
He did look a bit bad. I still stand by the statement though. Will Levis is the best quarterback in the Titans room right now. It's not a hard bar to clear, but he's cleared it.
For now.
Not for now. Well,
Because he has the
I
eye
think
factor.
for
Like,
this season, I think for this season.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on that yet. I think we might see Tannehill sometime again. But sort of because for us to see Tannehill again, they would need to be in a position in which like the playoffs are attainable, and Will Levis is driving them straight out of there. So we probably just see Will Levis just getting them a pick for their is a replacement next year.
So we're gonna talk about a game that I was wrong about, but I was also right about at the same time.
Great.
Did you see that Chargers Lions game? That game was crazy.
Like,
Did the Chargers not like perform like a team that should have won that game?
yeah, but they also perform like a team who has a fraudulent defensive coach as their head coach.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
at one point I was just like I was turning away and the Chargers were going to allow points. It was just one of those games. Like they couldn't stop anyone.
They
Like
really couldn't.
they
Like
couldn't.
you
And as the Lions got the ball late in that game, I was like, okay, so the Chargers lost because I just knew that it was impossible for them to stop anything. And yeah, eventually they did allow the field goal to lose. I mean, it was just
Quentin Johnston got his first NFL touchdown though. Come on. Let's
great.
celebrate, Alex.
Yes, okay. So just to pour some cold water in that. I think two of his three targets were when Keenan was out for a bit. When Keenan was
Yeah.
healthy, Guyton out targeted him. I think it was 6-1.
Keen Keenan had a ridiculous game, by the way. 11 receptions, 175 yards, and two touchdowns. Like,
And he left for like
dude is
I don't know,
ridiculous.
like half a quarter or something like that. I think he missed two or three drives. But yeah, Quentin Johnston, he drew a PI. I see a lot of people mentioning this, that he drew a PI that got him like
Yeah.
massive gains. My take on that is that the ball in which he got PI'd, I mean, that's a ball he should catch, and that's a touchdown if he catches it. But no, he drops it. Go figure.
I think you're just a little too harsh on my boy. Or, well, not my boy, but a little bit too harsh on Quentin Johnston, man.
I mean, we are praising him because he got four catches, a touchdown, like 10 weeks into his rookie season, and we are also praising him for drawing pass interference calls, when he should have made a touchdown catch in that same PI. Like there was nothing holding him. The ball hit him straight in the ends, and if he catches that, he's a goner. But no, he drops it. Just 10 hands. Like, ball goes straight from his hand to the ground. Like, great catch. Should have been a great catch. But no, it's Quinton Johnston. Go figure.
It's good.
But yeah,
Oh,
The Lions are back. Like Jameer Gibbs getting now goal line
man.
carries is something, I guess.
Both. It didn't matter what running back was in. Both Lions running back just feasted. Like I saw people hyping that David Montgomery and Gibbs could coexist in a backfield. Like that Chargers defense couldn't stop any two running backs, let alone two actual good ones. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I
I feel so bad for Justin Herbert because he had an amazing freaking game, dude. Like
that's just the story of Justin Herbert, I guess.
Chargers gonna charge her.
Chargers gonna Charger. That's it. That's all you need to know. I mean, just terrible by them. It's beyond me how Brandon Staley isn't fired yet. I guess because they think they have playoff hopes right now. They just
How?
think that.
There's so many teams in the AFC that have playoff hopes right now. It's not even funny. Like
That's the only thing I can think of right now as to why that fraud isn't fired yet.
that fraud. Wow. It's
You see Dan Campbell just going for it on fourth downs over and over and over again. The menace just following the analytics. Love it.
I
I
think the
just
man is just following the fact that he knew the Chargers defense couldn't stop him.
we talked about this before. He's one of those guys that follows the analytics the most, or at least gets like the most results right in terms of analytics,
Hmm.
in terms of when going for it or not. So maybe he's just following them. Just give the dude credit. He's a football mind, and he's a gutsy play caller or a gutsy head coach. I'm not. Ben Johnson probably calls the play, so he's a gutsy football head coach. I love it, and he's just he always seems to follow it, unlike the fraud who just sometimes follows it, sometimes doesn't, and then blames the analytics. Just miserable stuff. And yeah, I guess now we can talk about the murders row. Remember when we were talking about this game and it's like, oh, 16 or 15 and a half points. This is way too many points. Yeah, probably not enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe Tommy DeVito finished the game with 24 yards.
86 yards.
Oh no, this was first half. I'm sorry. First half, he
Okay.
had 24 yards
You mean
passing.
when the Giants didn't score any points?
Yeah, I
They were
think the
down
Cowboys
28
had.
nothing.
Yeah, and I was gonna say the Tommy DeVito had less yards passing than the Cowboys at points.
I just Dak Prescott took out all his frustrations on that Eagles game out on them. Is there trouble in paradise with Tony Ballard?
I mean, for a while now, like Tony Pollard hasn't really been good this year.
He hasn't. You're not wrong.
Rico Dowdle is the new hotness.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think I heard I think this was towards the end of the game. But at one point, I think I heard the commentators saying something along the lines of the Cowboys have more points than the Giants have first downs.
That would make sense. That would
Just,
make a lot of sense.
I don't know, man. Like,
It's the
Saquon,
Giants offense.
Saquon tried his best.
Think about how many bad offenses there are right now. You got the Falcons, you got the Giants, you got the Patriots, you got the Titans. I think the Titans are fringe on that one. Not thinking about the rest of those offenses, the Titans might be fringe.
I think
That's sad to say.
the Tommy DeVito led New York Giants are probably in a tier of their own.
I don't, bro. The Falcons had like 80 yards, and they have three for top 10 picks as far as offensive weapons go. Like I don't know. I don't know.
No, I'm gonna stay put. That Tommy DeVito led New York Giants just I mean they scored like what? They scored two touchdowns in garbage time. And most of the yards probably came in garbage time.
Yes,
I think at the half,
yes,
Saquon had nothing. Yeah, he had 7 carries for a yard.
you're not wrong.
The Giants averaged 1.2 yards per play in the first half.
The Giants were catastrophic. It's so bad, dude. I wonder what the spread is for the. Do the Giants have a bye? Please say the Giants have a bye. I don't want to have to pick a Giant spread again.
I think they had their bye already.
Oh no!
So
I'm going to
just
look at this Giant spread
get
because we.
ready to enjoy the ride.
Oh man!
It's terrible, dude. I
But I think we've
I
talked.
think it's
I think we've talked about the ups and downs of that was the amazingness of last week. Do you want to do your top 10 or do you want to do the spreads?
I just want to applaud first because I've been a bit critical of Gino, but Gino played well versus the Commanders, so
He did.
I had to give him my props. He struggled a bit to start, but when the lightings were bright, when the lights were bright, he just came out and played very well in the 2 touchdown drives that he had late. Just perfect. And Kenneth Walker is back, finally. That's the explosiveness that we were missing. He just caught a screen pass, basically, or a dump off pass, and went 65 yards to the house. Perfect.
So
That's just what you need to do with him.
somehow the Giants don't have the largest spread this week.
Oh my God.
The
Who do they play? Because that might be it.
Commanders.
Okay, I still like what I saw from the Commanders. It's like they should be favored by quite a bit. Oh my God! I'm just scrolling through the spreads, and there's plenty of like 10s, 11s. Yeah, it's probably one of these 11s, isn't it? One
Yep.
of the. Okay, this is an
A
ugly week.
team on the docket to get sacrificed again.
Oh my God. Okay, so first off, I guess we need to make a small recap here.
Yep.
So, with Monday Night Football missing, I am currently 6-7. You are 8-5.
Should we do our
And
top tens first and then finish with the predictions? I think we should.
yeah, sure. I'm just making this small recap, I guess,
Okay. Okay, sure.
prior to all that. Yeah, and that brings the overall records to 62, 85, and 1 for me. 66, 76, 71, and 1 for you. So 42% on the season and 51% on the season for me. And do you mind going first on the rankings? Because I need to make a small change here.
You need to make a small change here, huh?
Small change. Because I forgot about something here.
Fair. Oh, what to do, what to do, what to do. Because there are so many teams that are. I'm just gonna stick with what I got. Okay. Even I can't believe I'm saying this. Even after getting sacrificed.
Oh my God, no. Oh, shut the front door. Not those guys. Those frauds as well. Just throw them in the same garbage bin as you throw the dummy, the Staley guy, Joe Staley. I forgot his name. It's not Joe. It's Brandon Staley. Just throw them
Even
in the
after
same
getting
dump.
sacrificed, I'm still gonna put the Jaguars at 10.
Who hurt you? Like, really? Like, Blink twice if you're being held hostage, Angelo, please. I know that that's probably what's happening right now because there's no way you just put those frauds still in your power rankings.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Listen, plenty of teams get sacrificed. It's okay. It's okay. Number 9, I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I can't. I lowered them, but I can't put them higher because we did just lose to the Houston Texans. But I do think they're gonna increase as the season goes on. 8, I have the Lions. 7, I have the Cowboys. 6, I have the Dolphins. 5, I have the Ravens. 4, I have the Browns. 3, I have the 49ers. The sacrificing is back. 2 is the Chiefs. And 1 is the Eagles.
Hey, so a few similar ones and a few different ones. Of course, the Jacksonville
Do you
Jaguars
have,
are nowhere
oh,
to be
you don't
seen
have the
here.
Jags in your top 10, buddy? Come on.
No. There's- they have a worse net points basically than the Houston Texans right now. Just to give you that small hint.
Listen, if they lose this coming week, then they'll be off. They'll be out. Don't worry. I
They
promise.
should have been out. They are fraudulent. Okay, so 10 for me is the Buffalo Bills because they haven't played yet. So I was tempted to moving them out for, I don't know, I thought about the
They've been out
Seahawks
for
going back
weeks.
in. Okay, yeah, but you have the Jacksonville Jaguars, so
Yeah.
there's not much to say there. I thought about the Seahawks and I thought about
Seahawks probably would have been the one I would have taken the Jags out for if
yeah,
I was going to do it.
I thought about that or the Steelers right now because of the defense.
I think I think the Steelers are. There's no way. I refuse to admit the Steelers are as good as the. No, I refuse to admit it.
We shall see. But yeah, they're all out. So it's Buffalo at 10, Cleveland at 9. I still can't put
Cleveland,
them.
the
Yeah, yeah,
disrespect,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
disrespect.
I can't put them higher than that yet because, as we said, the offense. And I would put the Dallas Cowboys at 8. I would put the Cincinnati Bengals at 7. I'm giving you
Even
guys the
after losing
pass.
to the Texans. Oh, you're giving us the pass.
I'm giving
Okay.
you the pass, and I'm
Okay.
giving you the Texans just are probably good.
The Texans might be in the top 10 very soon. We'll see.
Yeah. So I'm giving you that pass there. You lost to a good team, probably. Miami at 6. I don't think I've moved them that much or if at all because of the bye. Baltimore is 5. They dropped from 3 last week. Detroit is 4. They move up after a pretty dominating win. Not dominating in terms of scoreboard, but like in terms of actually
All right.
playing
Are you
well and just.
saying the Cowboys aren't in your top 10?
Oh, I said the Cowboys are 8.
Oh, 8. Oh, 8. Sorry.
Yeah. The Detroit Lions are 4. The San Francisco 49ers are 3.
They're
Eagles 2.
back.
KC 1. Haven't changed that. I was hoping that a dominant Ravens win would give me a team that I was feeling good about for first. Didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Damn you, Ravens. Damn you.
I'm telling you, it's not going to get any better after this week for you either, as far as the Ravens go.
And by saying that, I should have actually put the Seahawks at 10 because that's probably not going to get any better for me as well there. I probably won't have the chance to put him in anytime soon due to the schedule coming up.
We'll see.
Okay, picks. It is time. Week 11. Oh my god, we're almost done with the
We still got
regular
7 weeks.
season.
We still got 7 weeks.
Oh, it just passes on flying.
It
It's
really does fly, yeah, dude. Football is
best
so
part of the
nice.
year.
Football is so nice.
Best part of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
You want to
so
start,
we
or do you
are
want me to start?
just this small heads up, but We are missing the Broncos, as I said before, Broncos at Bills. The line hasn't really moved, I think. Yeah, we took them at 7.5. It's still 7.5. I think it's leaning more towards the 8. No, 7. It's leaning more towards the 7 right now for Buffalo. So small movement in favor of the Broncos here. And the over-under, I don't think has moved at all.
Mhm.
So, week 11, the Cincinnati Bengals. Finally, a good Thursday night football game.
I know it's been forever. It's been
It's been
85
forever.
years.
Yeah, way too long. But it's the Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens, fresh out of a loss,
Favored by 3.5.
are
Huh?
favored by 3.5 points. The over-under
Hmm.
is 46, which might be the first time I'm leaning the over in a primetime game this
It's
year.
definitely the over.
And I am going with Joe Shiesty coming out and proving the haters wrong, proving that the Bengals are, in fact, it, and not only covering, but winning the game.
Normally, I just go against you, but I agree. I don't think there's any way the Bengals lose this. No, I'm going Bengals. I'm sticking.
It's fun that you probably would have said that as well about the Texans.
No, I didn't. I picked the Texans. You cursed
But
us.
no, no, but you could have said that.
I
There's
could
no
have.
possible way.
I could have, but there was a possible way against the Texans, and I knew it. Against the, I'm telling you, if we have T Higgins and Jamar Chase available, this is gonna get ugly. This is gonna be a very 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 explosive offense. Now, Baltimore has the firepower to keep up, and Lamar is very good. So I'm not. I don't think they're completely up, but I think we're gonna come out and we're gonna score some touchdowns early. Uh,
All
that's
right. That's what I like to hear.
all right. The Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers. The Cowboys are favored by 11. Oh man. You know what? The last 3 week Dak has looked like a top 5 quarterback, dude.
Yeah.
He really has. Like, you could say the performance last week or this week was against the Giants, but against the Eagles he performed, and the week before that, like, I'm gonna take the Cowboys and I'm gonna eat the 11.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. It's just Dallas versus bad teams usually can do this and can cover those big numbers. It's Dallas versus the good teams that scared me. So yeah, it's been rough. We didn't talk about much about that Bears Panthers game, but it was a rough game
Yep.
for Bryce. And one thing I said in one of the chats in which I was on prior to that game is if there's any offensive line that can make the Bears defensive line look serviceable to good, it's the Panthers. So I can only imagine what happens versus the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's gonna get ugly.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, the Las Vegas Raiders at the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are 11-point favorites out of a bye. The over-under is 48 points. Raiders out of 2 wins with the new coach. Is it Antonio Pierce? I always forget the guy's name. I think it is
It is
Antonio
Antonio
Pierce.
Pierce. Yeah.
Yeah, Antonio Pierce. I don't know, man. The Raiders have some life, it seems. They are playing angry. They're playing with something to prove. I don't know. Give me the Raiders plus 11.
So, full disclosure, that's who I was going to select if it was me to start, but you just gave them the Alex kiss of death. So now the Dolphins are naturally gonna swamp them at the start. So give me the Dolphins.
Right. Okay. Next up
Next,
for you.
Detroit Lions home against the Chicago Bears. The Lions are favored by 10. We got a lot of 10-point spreads here. So it's a divisional game. and I'm tempted to pick the Lions, especially off what I just saw them do to the Chargers. But divisional games seem to hit different, so give me the Bears +10.
I don't know, man. I think you're playing with fire there. I think this is probably a route. And like this should be the first game back for Justin Fields. It seems like he was close last week. And if it is the first game back, you know my mantra. Don't take the Bears if they're playing Fields, especially Fields as a bummed out thumb. So give me the Detroit Lions -10. I
Okay.
think it's a sacrificing.
You think a sacrifice is coming?
It is. Yeah.
All right, you're next. Oh, this might be one of the oh, this is the low scoring game you got coming up.
I tied for lowest, I think. And it is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns.
This has the potential to be a terrible game. I hope you know this.
Yes. And I'm going. Oh, my bad. The Steelers. Oh, no. The Browns playing at home are a 4 point favorite. The over-under is 37, tied for lowest on the week. And give me the Pittsburgh Steelers +4. Game is close. Give me the Steelers. They know how to make these games something out of nothing, or nothing out of something, I guess, in their
So
case.
I hate you right now because you're making really good picks, but you're also Alex, so give me the Cleveland Browns.
Like how your rationale is just that it's Alex.
It's Alex. Yeah, you're just I got a 60% chance to be right.
There's a
That's
lot. Have you noticed that there's a lot of flat numbers this week? Like, there's not
yeah.
a whole lot of halves, so there could be some ties here as well for
There could be
us
a lot of ties this year, yeah. Or this week, yeah.
this week. Yeah. Oh boy.
Next, I got another bad
Oh
one.
boy.
The New York Giants at the Washington Commanders.
Oh boy.
The Commanders are favored by 10. Oh God. Do I let
Oh,
the Giants hurt me again? Ugh.
oh, buddy. 10
Give me the
points.
Commanders. Give me the Commanders. I can't. I've seen enough from the Giants offense. The Giants offense probably isn't even capable of putting up 10 points
10
unless it's garbage
points
time.
in a 37-point over-under game. That is just. I think the implied point total here for the Giants, it's again 10 points.
I hope you understand the projection is probably like 34-3 Commanders. I hope you know that.
Okay, so you're on Washington.
I'm on
Washington
Washington, yes.
-10. Oh my God. I have this
You,
rule in
are
which
you
you
gonna let the
take the
Giants hurt you?
you take the points in a close game like this in terms of points, in terms of over under. But it's the Giants with Tommy DeVito.
You gonna,
It's like
I let the Giants hurt me last week. Are you gonna let them hurt you this week?
divisional matchup as well. This
Yep.
this is probably the toughest game of the week to
Yeah.
call right now. Because 10 is just such a big number with the 37 over under, and it's divisional matchup.
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay,
I'm spamming under, by the way.
you're probably right. Give me, I guess I'm gonna go against my rule. Give me the Commanders -10, but I
You're not
like,
gonna let the Giants hurt you.
yeah, if there's a game that it's totally a 50-50 and I'm gonna look back and say this was a very dumb pick, it's definitely this one. Because 10 points on a 37 game over under,
It's
it's
crazy.
stupid. It's just
It's crazy. But
you're thinking like the Commanders are gonna win like what 27 to
34-3.
10.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay, next up for me, it's the Arizona Cardinals at the Houston Texans. Over under is 48 points, which is the tied for highest on the week, tied with the Raiders. And the the Houston Texans are 4-point favorites. Ooh, interesting line here. Books are finally giving some credit to the Texans, I guess. Or are they just starting to because the Cardinals are pretty bad team still? Give me the Cardinals +4. I think this is a letdown spot for the Texans. Coming off a nice win versus the Cincinnati Bengals, emotions will be high and they are still a young team. And I think Cardinals are turning it around. Kyler Murray getting the first win. I like the narrative here. Give me the Cardinals +4.
Here comes another Noah Brown 150-yard receiving game incoming. Give me the Texans -4.
Okay. Going against me on that one. Didn't like my rationale, I guess.
Nope. Oh God. Next up, I have the LA Chargers at the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, buddy.
The LA Chargers are favored by 3. You know what? I'm just gonna let the Chargers keep hurting me. Just give me the Chargers. Just at this point, I'm like a pseudo Chargers fan. Just just let the Chargers just let them keep hurting me. Give me the Chargers. Go on. You can pick the Packers.
Oh, buddy. I'm not sure, to be honest. It's like the Packers look rough, but like at the end of the game, Love was sort of making some good plays, and that touchdown pass to Jaden Reed was pretty good as well.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna let the Chargers hurt you too?
Okay, give me the Packers +3.
Okay.
I, I I think the Chargers might win it, but 3 points is way too much for the Chargers. It's like
You got it. You figured it out now.
you can't go like if it isn't one or pick 'em, you can't pick the Chargers basically.
You got it. You're up, buddy.
Another divisional matchup then. The Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Two
I just
teams that
like
I absolutely love.
I just like to point out that you called the Jaguars frauds
Yeah, and
this
the
episode.
mailman. It's
So
going to Jacksonville. Over under is 40, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are 6.5-point favorites. Ooh. Does the mailman has any chance here to make this a game? And I will say no. Give me the Jags -6.5. I think if there's anything of substance in the Jags, I think it needs to come out this week just to show the world that they aren't complete frauds. They're just 80% frauds. And if they have any sort of dignity, they come out and just avenge the embarrassment from last week.
give me the Titans.
Oh, buddy. The mailman.
Yep. Will Levis. Let's go.
Be sure to give him his mayo.
He's got this. Next up. Oh Lord. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the San Francisco 49ers. Now we got some San Francisco 49ers lines. San Francisco favored by 10.5. That's what I expect from a San. Remember the last game was like single digits?
Yeah, it was -3 actually.
Yeah, you see how embarrassing that was? Yeah, this is a 49ers line. Give me the 49ers. I think they're going to sacrifice the Bucks. Let's go.
Ah, tough game for me here.
Now, the Bucks do have a good enough defense to make Brock Purdy's life miserable.
And they have an excellent run defense as well.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the demoralized Christian McCaffrey for not getting the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You meet the San Francisco 49ers. It's like, I can't. I just tried to make this narrative and then I come down to it's Baker Mayfield. So it's just gonna be terrible.
It's Baker Mayfield against the 49ers defense, who just added
Are
Chase
we?
Young, by the way.
Yeah. And you did play okay.
First week
Are
is
we
always
missing?
toughest when you're fresh off a trade. But go on, sorry.
Yeah, now, are we missing any game? Because I think, okay, no, I thought we had like it was 4 afternoon games, and I was only seeing 3. But yeah, it's just 3. The Jets at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 7-point favorites. The over/under is 40.5. And I mean, I think the Jets sort of always play the Buffalo Bills close. So give me the Jets +7. I would like this to be like 7.5, likely. We didn't
So
talk much about the Jets, but like I think Zach had a pretty solid game. Turnover at the end cost them,
the Jets
but
are doing so good. Aaron Rodgers is season coming back by the end of the December.
oh yeah, I saw that report as well.
Mm-hmm.
It might be happening after all.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't saw the full game. I saw some parts of it. I saw the full like first half. But then the second half, I watched it afterwards, part of it. I know he made a costly turnover to lose the game, but he had a few good plays there to start, and he had a few plays called back with penalties. He had like a touchdown that was called short on his run, and then he had a Brees Hall touchdown called back for a
Fortunate.
penalty on CJ Uzama. Yeah. So I think he played better than like the end result. So give me the Jets +7. They also have the advantage of the Buffalo Bills having a shorter week because they play today.
So I think some like the Bills are gonna have like a coming to Jesus party after what's about to happen in this Monday night game. So give me the Bills. I think they're gonna play that game. They're not gonna play up to standards. I don't necessarily think they're gonna lose, but if they do, then they'll definitely have the coming to Jesus moment. So give me the Bills. I think the Bills eventually have to start winning football games again, and this is about the time. So next up,
Let's see if you make the right pick.
Seattle Seahawks at LA Rams. First question: is Matthew Stafford healthy and playing?
I'm not sure. I don't think that has been confirmed yet. It's him or it's Carson Wentz.
If it's Matthew Stafford playing, give me the Rams. +2.5.
Okay. But no takes backsies. If
Okay.
you take the Rams, that's it. Regardless of who starts.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
This is a game that I probably need to take the Rams. Because I just know that we just suck whenever we face Sean McVay. And we are probably getting destroyed. And our offense will be embarrassing, and our defense will be terrible. Sean McVay out of a bye. Pete Carroll struggles versus him. So logically, give me the Seahawks -2.5. This is
Logically.
just a complete homer pick. Just don't pick this, guys. The right side is the Rams. Oh, just
It's the
yeah, it is.
Rams.
It is. It is. It is. We're losing this game. It's obvious. Okay, next up. Oh boy, another great primetime game. The Minnesota Vikings. The new I mean, I don't know, the Joshua Dobbs crazy good Minnesota Vikings at the Denver Broncos.
Oh
The
no.
Broncos are 2-point favorites, which is very weird to me because The Vikings are like a 6-4 team right now. The over under is 43. So
That
I don't know. I
beyond
think it's just the Vikings. The Vikings probably win this game. Although Denver has looked better as of late, the defense has played better and the offense is still doing okay. Just give me the Vikings. I think Joshua Dobbs is here to stay. I guess. I never thought I would say this.
isn't Justin Jefferson going to be back too? Potentially.
I think that's up in the air, but yeah, potentially. They opened the window last week, so he could return this week. I don't think they said they would be cautious with him.
You pick the Vikings.
Yes, +2.
You're making me make a lot of picks I'm going to regret. Give me the Broncos.
Right.
Oh man, this should
Next
have
up.
been a pick 'em, or the Vikings should have been favored. Anyway, Eagles at Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 3. Give me the Eagles.
Oh, buddy. I think you got that wrong. So yeah, give me Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs out of a bye versus the fraudulent Philadelphia Eagles. Kansas City -3. Kansas City beats the Eagles by 10.
You really want. So if the Eagles win this game, or when the Eagles win this game, I guess I should say, are you going to put the Eagles at number 1?
If the Eagles beat the Chiefs, the Eagles
No,
are number one for me.
no matter whether it's a good win or a bad win.
No matter what, the Eagles are number one. Or I'll say the Eagles will be ahead of the Chiefs.
There we go. He's going to put the 49ers at number 1 off of sacrificing the.
Could be. But whoever wins this game will be ahead of the other team, no matter how they win.
Uh-huh.
And as I say this, I'll come here next week and I will defend the Chiefs
No,
because the
you won't.
Eagles lost on a
Because we
fragile
record
and
this on a
whatever.
Monday, and that's a Monday night game. So,
But we
so
record the fantasy football show.
you got you got a whole week plus to, think of excuses. Don't worry, buddy.
You're very confident this week on that pick.
Yeah, I'm confident in Alex being wrong. That is, according to the numbers, that's the smart pick.
Okay. Is that our show? Feels like
For the
our
most
show.
part. So I know you go into you didn't ask it this week, but what in your top 10 is your Super Bowl contender? What to you makes a Super Bowl contending team?
I think it's a team that it needs to have at least one unit that is great and the other unit is good. So, for example, the Browns, I think the defense is great, but I think the offense is average. So I don't consider them a Super Bowl contender right now. I would say this week, I would think the top six. The top six are Super Bowl contenders.
Because let's
But
be real,
it's
all that matters, but at the same time, the team that gets hot going into the playoffs is the team you want, regardless of what the units look like. Like if the Browns end the season, win the division, they beat the Bengals again, they beat the Steelers. I would have a hard time saying that they're not up there with the Chiefs. I would have a really hard time saying that.
And what makes a Super Bowl contender to you?
The team that gets hot at the end of the season.
That's just it. Okay. So the team who gets hot takes the cake, basically.
You either got an elite quarterback or you get hot at the end of the season. And if you got both, then you're double good. Like, so obviously, if the Bengals get hot at the end, or the Chiefs get hot at the end, or the Bills, obviously they get a little bit of a boost because they have Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, or Josh Allen. But it really is like football is definitely when are you getting hot and at what time? Like, I do, as crazy as this sounds, I do think there's a scenario where the Houston Texans are a team you do not want to face going into the playoffs.
I think where the Texans might fail is that they're too young.
Yeah.
Rookie head coach, rookie QB.
I mean,
very
people were
young
saying
offensive pieces as well.
people were saying that
line.
about the Bengals though when we made the Super Bowl run because we had just come off a poor year. Joe Burrow had just gotten hurt, and we made a run. We just made a run. The defense was great. Joe Burrow played like so. You never know. The team on paper doesn't look like it should come anywhere close to a Super Bowl. But if the Texans get hot at the end, I mean, depending on matchups, I wouldn't want to face them if I was a lot of teams.
Yeah, that is true. I there's also like the rookie barrier thing that we aren't accounting for, which is usually a thing when they hit that rookie wall, as they say.
Yeah.
So that could definitely be a possibility here for the Texans. It could run hot, but then like at the end of the season, they can't take the pressure because with the Browns, with the Bengals, it was one thing because we knew that Burrow was that type of competitor. He was that type of that's his nickname, Joe Cool. That's just he's just that cool, and he's highs basically in those big moments. He just doesn't fear them, and he's ready for them, and it doesn't matter.
I think
Does
that's the thing I like.
that?
I like Joe Burrow. Like the most about Joe Burrow is we're going on a run or it's late in a game, and you just see him on the sidelines. His hands are in his pockets. He doesn't look like he's thinking about anything, and he's just ready to get back on the field. Like I think that's just amazing.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I like him as much as I do right now. It's just doesn't matter if it's the first play of the first quarter or the last like play of the fourth quarter. It just looks the same, and it just knows that he can do whatever he can do whatever he wants in that football field. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but he has the confidence that it works. Now, no matter the outcome of the prior play, if it was a pick, if it was a fumble, doesn't matter. It's just cool with it. I'm not sure if Stroud has that because he hasn't been put in those situations yet in the NFL.
That's fair. But yeah, that's our episode. We got a nice donate button. Alex is better at doing the outro than me.
As always, if you're listening on YouTube, just thumbs up, subscribe to the show, turn notifications on, leave us a comment in there. And if you're listening in this case, on Spotify app, if you're listening on the podcasts app, just leave us a 5-star review and subscribe as well. Thank you for listening, guys, and see you. When is it? Wednesday, Thursday. I never know the day. Thursday. I never know the day in which it comes, the last episode. See you Thursday, guys. Have a nice Monday Night Football.
See ya. Alex didn't say we don't take anything less than a 5-star review.
Oh, yes. Oh, I failed that.
I got your outro down. I got your outro down.